So welcome to part 2 of our 6-part series where we're talking about my 5 golden rules for successful and profitable real estate investing in the US. I've put these rules together over the last 10 years of buying rental properties in the US as a foreigner living overseas. So we manage everything remotely. We've had some great experiences, but we've also learned a lot of lessons along the way. So we talked about in the first video, the 2 main problems that you're going to have are tenant issues, things like turnovers and rent collections, and property repairs, so that's general maintenance and capital expenditures. So our first rule is we're looking for bigger properties with less units, and that might be contradictory to some people, where you may have heard that duplexes, triplexes and quads are better cash flow vehicles, and that can be true on paper, but the reality is that does not translate to your bank account. If you take, for example, a quadplex in one of these cheaper secondary markets where you can pick the property up fully fixed up for, let's say, $200,000, you'll find that you've got 4 units that are roughly about $50,000 each. That's the lowest of the low end of property. They tend to be very small units. The rent you're going to get on those, depending on the market, is going to be anywhere from $500 to $1,000. And my experience is those are the properties that are going to be a nightmare to manage because they attract the kind of tenants that struggle to pay rent, that do not stay very long, and that cause damage to properties. So you're going to have higher maintenance costs, you're going to have higher property management costs, you're going to have evictions and expensive turnovers where you're going to have to go in and repaint the property and put new flooring down and get it ready for the next tenant, and then you're going to have lease up fees on top of that as well. So the reality is, in these cheaper secondary markets, those quadplex properties and triplex properties may look good on paper, but that does not translate into stable long-term cash flow, which is exactly what we need as landlords. We need people to pay their rent and pay their rent on time so we can pay the mortgage and the property taxes and the insurance and cover all of our maintenance and vacancies if we have any. So the rule is we focus on single family homes, which is the gold standard, or potentially duplex properties. We look for bigger properties, 1,300 square feet or higher, 3+ bedrooms, and those are the properties that are going to give us the best chance of attracting the best quality tenants that translate into stable income. So follow us for part 3, where I'm going to be giving you my second golden rule, which is really probably, I think, the most important because it saved us so much time, money and effort over the course of the last 10 years of building our own portfolio.